Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me for this week's weekly psychic reading. I'm Erin Lee, and you can find the rest of my readings on my website, VancouverIslandPsychic.com. And this is the weekly psychic reading for Monday, February 17th to Sunday, February 23rd, 2014. This week we're going to be using Doreen Virtue's Archangel Oracle card deck, and your crystal choices for the week are jet, angelite, and fluorite. Again, that's jet, angelite, and fluorite. We'll move these guys off to the side, and we'll just take a moment to calm and center ourselves, have a feeling of being grounded, and we're going to ask our angels for the messages for the coming week so that we can continue to live a positive, happy, healthy, and balanced life. Whoops. So the first card is for Monday and Tuesday, and the message that's coming up is courage. Be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. So the feelings that are coming up at the beginning of this week is that it's really important to stand your ground and to live, first of all, live the life that you're wanting to live, and not to allow the opinions or thoughts of others to change your course and kind of direct you into doing something that you perhaps don't want to do. It's really important that you're standing your ground this week, and if you tend to be a person who has difficulty standing up for themselves, then call on your angels and ask for help. Archangel Ariel is coming through and really supporting us with this and with moving forward with that. It also feels like there are changes that are coming up for us this week in terms of our life purpose and what it is that we want to be doing. And so it's really important that you stand firm with what it is that you want, and then take the steps to do that, even if the people around you are perhaps not supporting you. Looking at the message for Wednesday and Thursday, the message that's coming up is divine order. Everything is happening as it needs to right now. Look past the illusion and see the underlying order. So the message that's coming up for Wednesday and Thursday is that everything is falling into place and happening as it needs to, even if it seems that that isn't the case. So trust, have faith, and continue to stand your ground, and really, don't allow your faith to waver. Again, if the people around you are not supportive or encouraging, or perhaps you've experienced a bit of a setback as you've been making changes to create the life that you want, know that everything is happening for a reason, and it feels like this is only a slight delay and a minor delay. But the message for today is, for Wednesday and Thursday, is truly to have faith and to know that everything is happening as it needs to, and it will be righting itself very shortly. And for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the message that's coming up is sensitivity. You are extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honor yourself and your feelings. So one of the things that's coming up with this card is to really pay attention to how you're feeling. And one of the biggest things that can affect how we're feeling is actually our diet and the foods that we're eating. So one of the things that you may find is that you're becoming more sensitive to foods that in the past have been okay for you. So pay attention to how you're feeling after you've eaten processed foods, or foods that you know can be irritants for your stomach and for your overall well-being. Also, as we start to live a life of purpose and the life that we want to be living, we tend to be more in touch with our intuition and with our spirituality. And as we do that, we become more sensitive because we are becoming more aware of how things are affecting us on both an emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical level. And so one of the things to continue with that process and with that process is to really pay attention to the sensitivities as they appear, and to make changes and adjustments to fit that. Because the reason that these sensitivities are coming up is so that we can make changes and adjust, so that we can better fine-tune our gauge for what's happening and what we're experiencing. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this week, really make sure that you're paying attention to how you're feeling, and then make adjustments to accommodate that. All right, and so let's pull out our crystals. Here we go. So for the people who chose jet this week, your message is victory. Archangel Sandalphon, your prayers have been heard and answered. Have faith. So for you guys, everything really is falling into place. Know that if it seems that it is not, that everything is coming together. And I'm kind of drawn back to the message that we had earlier with divine order, is that everything really is falling into place. So continue to push on with the projects that you've started and the things that you're working on, because it is coming together, it is coming to fruition, and the message just kind of popped in, particularly through the middle of March. So really keep on the course, keep going. Everything is coming up as you're wanting it to and as you need it to. For the people who chose Angel Light, the message that's coming up for you this week is leadership. It is time for you to assume your leadership power and position and lovingly guide others. So again, we've got this message of kind of assertiveness and really stepping into your power coming up for the people who chose Angel Light this week. So with that message, with stepping forward, it's really important, one, that you follow your beliefs and your faith, and make sure that your actions are just and within integrity. It feels like now it is time for you to be living the life that you want without apology, because you are acting as an inspiration to the people around you. One of the things that actually just kind of came up with that message around being the inspiration for others is it's possible that you won't be aware that that is what you're doing, but important that you are living your life as in a way that you would want to be inspiring others. I hope that last message made sense the way it came out. And for the people who chose fluorite, the message that's coming up for you is brilliant idea. Yes, your idea is divinely guided. Please take action to bring your idea to fruition. So again, there's this energy of things really moving forward for you guys this week. With the message specifically for the people with fluorite, taking action is really important, and I think that's kind of a message that we've seen through much of the cards that have come up this week. Brilliant idea. It really talks about you have an idea or a thought, and it's really important that you take steps to be working on that. This is a divinely guided thought, intuition, and idea, and it's important that you take the steps to do that. So again, going back to this message that came up around courage, is being courageous in moving forward. Now, one of the things to be aware of when we have brilliant ideas is often we start off with an idea and it's kind of a seedling, and it grows and it develops, and as we think about it more and more, we think about all the different possibilities and the things that happen, and we start to become really, really excited, and this kind of grows and expands until we get to the point where we're so excited that we feel like we're going to burst, and we want to share that idea with somebody else, and then we go to talk to somebody else, but they haven't been part of that process with growing and expanding and creating the idea. And rather than sharing and supporting the excitement that you've brought forward, they're kind of, well, this could go wrong, or this could go wrong, or that could go wrong. It's at that point it's really important that you go back into yourself and recreate and rebuild that excitement. It may also mean that at this point you aren't sharing your ideas with other people, but instead are taking the path more where you're saying, okay, well, I have this really great idea, and now I'm ready to work forward on it, to move forward on it, and I'm just going to do it, and I'm not necessarily going to be talking about this with other people, because I don't want people to be able to kind of nitpick me down until I've lost my idea. So again, there's a really strong message for you guys to be active with the ideas that you've brought forward, but not necessarily sharing them with the people around you, the people that you love, and to be courageous about that, and to really continue to push forward and to move forward with it. I'd like to thank you so much for joining me. I'm Erin Lee, and you can find the rest of my readings on my website, VancouverIslandPsychic.com, and I wish you a fabulous week.